What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Sunday, June 25th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 10-game slate today, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I like Corbin Burnes. He's got a nice pitching advantage here over a low salary batting team, the Cleveland Guardians. Corbin Burnes only giving up a .522 OPS versus lefties, facing 5 lefties, and he's off to a good start versus the Guardians. They've only hit 3 of his last 21 pitches. That's a 143 batting average. So Corbin Burnes is $9,900 FanDuel salary, $800 less on DraftKings, so I like that he's under $10K on both sites. He's averaging 31 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 3.96. Record is 5-5. Pitching an average of 94 pitches per game. And what I actually like about this pick is he only scored 3 fantasy points last game, pitched 5 innings, so had an awful game. But it means his arm is going to be rested and ready to go in a good matchup. So I think this is a good bounce back spot. So I like Corbin Burnes here versus the Cleveland Guardians. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. So here's a value play. I like Brandon Belt. He has a 31% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Luis Medina. Brandon Belt batting 54% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .792 OPS versus righties. Luis Medina giving up a .711 OPS versus lefties. So there's no at-bats versus Medina yet. Brandon Belt is $2,700 FanDuel salary, $100 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's got a batting average of .264. Scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. Vegas thinks there's going to be 9.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So he looks underpriced on the slate considering he's facing a righty pitcher, which is his strong hand by far. So I like Brandon Belt here versus Luis Medina. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So I like Orlando Arcia. He's got a small batting advantage here over a low salary pitcher, Levi Stute. And Orlando Arcia, he's batting a .703 OPS versus righties, so it's not his strong hand. But Levi Stute, he's pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 50% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.054 OPS versus righties. So there's no at-bats versus Stout yet. Orlando Arcia is $3,100 FanDuel salary, $1,200 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's got a batting average of .321, scored fantasy points in 3 out of his last 5 games. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 11.5 runs scored in this game. So I like Orlando Arcia here versus Levi Stute. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Austin Riley. he has a 37% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Levi Stout. Austin Riley, he's batting a .695 OPS versus righties. And Levi Stout, we know his pitching is worst ball versus righty batters, pitching a 1.054 OPS versus righties. Now there's no at-bats versus Stout yet. Austin Riley is $3,400 FanDuel salary, $1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's been on fire, scoring 16, 35, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's got a batting average of .267, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 11 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Austin Riley here versus Levi Stout.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? So I like Trea Turner. He's got a 14% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Carlos Carrasco. Trea Turner, that's a little bit better versus righty pitchers. Currently batting a .651 OPS versus righties, which he's not having a great season, but I have seen signs that he's turning it around here. And Carlos Carrasco is pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 12% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .844 OPS versus righties. So the reason that I like this pick, Trea Turner is 6 for 11 here versus Carrasco. That's a .545 batting average and a 1.363 OPS. So Trea Turner is $3,300 FanDuel salary, $2,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. But he's been on fire, scoring 7, 16, and 12 fantasy points in the last 3 games. Has a batting average of .244, and he was down to as low as like .205 at one point this season. So he's been battling back, and I've been saying it's a good opportunity to buy low. But now his salary is getting back to probably where it should be. But I think he's still in a great spot here tonight. So I like Trea Turner here versus Carlos Carrasco. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. So I like Bryce Harper, and he's batting against the low salary pitcher Carlos Carrasco. So Bryce Harper, he's batting 53% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .935 OPS versus righties. Carlos Carrasco giving up a .739 OPS versus lefties. Bryce Harper is 4 for 12 here versus Carrasco. It's a .333 batting average and a .718 OPS. So Bryce Harper, he's only $3,700 FanDuel salary, which seems like you're getting him at a discount in a good matchup. He's $2,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, although nothing over a 9 or a 10. And he's got a batting average of .291. So I like Bryce Harper here versus Carlos Carrasco.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.